Good evening. So I am the chocolate and God is the thunder. Because of that, I'll never go under. I was watching the cartoon Cinderella. And you know something? There is more to that cartoon than just a cartoon. Cinderella, okay, which is a film Walt Disney created. Y'all know with Walt Disney films, there is always a powerful, wonderful message. Okay, so Cinderella, she, she lost her dad. Her dad was no longer alive. Okay, she lost her mom too. Then she must have lost her dad later on. They passed away. And so she had to stay with the stepmother. Not only was the stepmother wicked, but the stepmother and her daughters, they were just evil. They squandered any money that was left over. They squandered it, the stepmother and her wicked daughters, and they didn't even take care of the beautiful castle. Cinderella had to clean up, and they just treated her worse than garbage. But Cinderella, the way she approached life was so beautiful. She always approached life with a beautiful song. She whistled and she sung. No, she didn't whistle. I'm sorry. She had a song, a beautiful song to sing, and she had a beautiful voice. And her stepmother didn't like that because something. Let me tell you about something with some people. Some people want you to be miserable, and because you're not miserable, because you're happy even though your circumstances may not be so great, some people become like the devil. Matter of fact, let me just rephrase, some people, the devil start jumping out of them because they don't like to see that you're approaching, they don't like to see a person like that approaching life with such a so happy. So this is what Cinderella did, and she had these wonderful animals who were her friends. And I got so many different messages from that movie today. One of the messages I got is, listen, sometimes the people that God is going to send to help you in life, they're not going to look like you. They are not going to look like you. We hinder ourselves a lot of times when we feel the people who are supposed to help us, or the people that God sends to help us, they're going to look like us. And sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes that is just not the case. Hold on. Thank y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. Where was I? Sometimes I got to get these teenagers and put them in check. Okay, and I will put them in check. Anyway, so sometimes we hinder ourselves when we think that the people who's supposed to help us, the people, they're supposed to look like us. Guess what? Sometimes the people that God sends to be your help, they ain't gonna look nothing like you. So we gotta look beyond that. But anyway, Cinderella was very grateful for the animals that were placed in her life. She had mice, she had Bruno the dog, she had a horse, and then she had some other beautiful animals. Okay? And so with that being said, Cinderella, she was a happy woman. I mean, you would think that she's the most would be the most miserable person in the world because she didn't, you know what I'm saying? She wasn't treated right. She didn't have a lot, but she still had a happy song to sing. Meanwhile, Eveline, meanwhile, the old evil, wicked stepmother and her old gruesome looking daughters, meanwhile, they were so miserable. Oh my God. They were absolutely miserable. Them two daughters of the wicked stepmother were some spoiled girls. They were spoiled and felt entitled. And nothing was good enough for them. Nothing was good. And every 5 minutes, they was always calling, Cinderella! Cinderella! Oh my goodness. By the third call, I'm sorry, I would have put them in the headlock. By the third call, I would have put all three of them in the headlock. But anyway, so Cinderella, okay, she had this wonderful, beautiful dream of meeting a prince and, it just, you know what I'm saying? Just meeting the man of her dreams. And not that everything, all of her dreams revolved around a man, because it didn't, but that was part of her dreams. But anyway, Cinderella had dreams. She had dreams. No matter how bad her situation was, and it was bad, she had dreams. You still got to have dreams. No matter how bad things are in your life, you still have to have dreams. We must have dreams. We must have dreams. It's very important. But you know, Cinderella didn't share her dreams with that old wicked stepmama and them old two girls. You know, them two sisters, the gruesome sisters. Cinderella didn't share her dreams with them. Very smart move. Because you can't share your dreams with people who are not really for you. Why would you want to share your dreams with people who don't care for you? You see, Cinderella was smart. Cinderella was smart. I would never share my dreams with people I know that don't care for me. I would never share anything with them. Especially if I know they don't want to see me succeed. I'm not going to share any plans, thoughts, dreams, prayers, nothing with such people. Because they can be a hindrance. Amen. It's like we got to be smart with our dreams. We got to be protective of them. We have to be protective of them. And Cinderella was protective of her dreams. Well, anyway. Okay, so let me get to the real nitty gritty. So there was this ball, beautiful ball that was going on. Guess who was throwing it? The prince. Okay, so Cinderella, her two stepsisters, you know, they was looking for something to wear, and these girls probably had umpteen dresses, but nothing was good enough for them. So they threw the beads on the floor, threw the sash on the floor. Meanwhile, Cinderella had this one dress, and she, you know, that's she was gonna wear she was gonna wear that to the ball. You know, the dress was pink. It was really pretty and everything like that. But because she was working so hard for her two wicked stepsisters and the stepmother, she never had time to finish her dress. So the ones who decided to finish it was the mice. The mice were the ones who decided to finish her dress. Now, they were getting things like the beads that the stepsisters threw away in the sash. You know, they were getting things like that to put on the dress. And who was trying to stop them? Oh, Lucifer, the big fat cat, Lucifer. There's a message in that. Anytime God is trying to bless his children, Lucifer will always try to stop it. It's just the truth. It's just the God's honest truth. There will always be some type of evil force that tries to stop that blessing from coming forth. And Lucifer, he didn't want the mice to put them beads and stuff on that dress for Cinderella. He didn't. He didn't want that for Cinderella. But I tell you what, the mice, they got them pretty beads and everything on that dress. Sure did. And that dress was beautiful. That dress was beautiful. So anyway, the stepmama and the two stepsisters, you know, they finally got ready and was on their way to the ball. Here comes Cinderella running down the steps. Wait for me, wait for me, wait for me. She's coming in this beautiful big dress. I mean, it's just beautiful. And she didn't even have to finish it. The mice finished it for her. The mice did it for her. All she had to do was show up. All she had to do was put on the dress. The mice already finished it. You know, sometimes that's how it is for a miracle. It's already done. It's already finished. We did the work and we just need to show up. It's important to show up. But anyway, Cinderella showed up and she got to, you know, she wore her dress. She coming running down the stairs. But remember what I told y'all. Anytime God's children is trying to be blessed, there's always some demonic force that's going to try to stop it from coming forth. Always. That is always going to happen. Some of you are wondering why it's taking so long for you to get your blessing. Why, you know what I'm saying? Why is it taking so long? Why it seems like it's so hard? Because that's nothing but the enemy. He don't want to see you blessed. He don't want to see you blessed. So he'll do anything. And sometimes, most of the times, he works through people. He'll do anything to try to stop it from coming forth. But the Bible says who God has blessed can't no man curse. All right, so boom, here we go with Cinderella. So Cinderella, you know, she went down the stairs. She got on her beautiful dress, right? And her stepmother and sister seen her in that beautiful dress, and jealousy overtook them immediately. jealousy and envy. Oh my goodness. They went and ripped the beads, the two girls. Oh, those are my beads! You thief! Went and ripped the beads off Cinderella's neck, ripped the sash off and everything, just ripped the dress into shreds. Had her, by the time it was done, they had Cinderella looking just messed up. It was so heartbreaking. And here comes the step daughters, or the stepsisters, excuse me, not stepdaughters, the stepsisters, which is the stepmother's daughters, leaves out, and the stepmother too. And then she looks at Cinderella and says something like good night or something to that effect. Nasty and wicked. Nasty and wicked. Excuse me. You know, sometimes with some women, very evil, mean, and wicked. Some women, very evil, mean, and wicked. I seen that Jezebel spirit all up on that wicked stepmama and her two daughters. Oh, wicked Jezebel manipulative spirit. Just wicked. Those, they were wicked as they come. And it's amazing how some women can be like that. So wicked. Excuse me. Don't be that type of woman. You will hinder every blessing that God has for you. Don't be that type of woman, and don't be stuck in that type of bondage, because that's bondage. Don't be stuck in that old demonic bondage, because at the end of the day, you know what? At the end of the day, guess what? It leads to nothing and nowhere. It leads to nothing and nowhere. It really does. It doesn't lead to anywhere. Nothing and nowhere. Well, anyway, so Cinderella's crying and she's nothing works, and it's just, oh my God, it's so sad. That's like the saddest scene. It makes you want to cry. And she's like, I tried, and she did everything she's supposed to do. Nothing worked. And then all of a sudden, her fairy godmother shows up. Isn't it amazing in life how when we've done all we can and we're completely exhausted and we can't do no more, and it seems like it ain't gonna work out, and it's like the minute we cry out, here comes God. Isn't that something? Here comes God, ready to work out the whole situation, because that's how God works. Well, anyway, so now Cinderella's like, my fairy godmother. So, you know, the fairy godmother, you know, she goes, she has this song, Bippity Boppity Boo, and the magic wand. And she's like, you know, Bippity Boppity, Bippity Boppity. And everything just gets happy. And the pumpkin, you know, the beautiful pumpkin comes, and that's her, like her chariot. I mean, the beautiful dress that the fairy godmother just, you know, helps magically appear is so beautiful. It's blue. It is gorgeous. It's beyond gorgeous. You know, one thing I heard the fairy godmother say to Cinderella, even miracles take time. Miracles take time. They take time. Even miracles take time. Sometimes that's also why, you know, things take so long to get to us, because miracles take time. They take time. You know what I'm saying? But as we know, with God, all things are possible, and He does things in decency and order. And even with God, miracles do take time. They take time. Okay, they do. So it's like, don't give up faith. That miracle, it gotta, you know, it gotta work. You know what I'm saying? It gotta work. It gotta be worked. You know, it's almost like when somebody's doing yarn, they're yawning, not yawning, but they're crocheting. Excuse me, they're crocheting, and you know, and they're doing it. They're taking the things that. You ever watch somebody crochet? I have, and they're doing it with those two hooks. They're just working, and then what comes out of it is a beautiful baby blanket or whatever. What I'm saying is miracles, you know, they take time. They take time. So anyway, so not only do miracles take time, but Cinderella had to get back by 12 from the ball because there's also rules. And it's like, we got to obey the rules. We got to obey the rules. So she finally gets to the ball. The prince, he don't like none of them women there, especially them old two gruesome stepsisters. He don't like none of those women there, none of them. And all of a sudden, he notices Cinderella. He notices her. And he goes towards her and they begin to dance. They do the waltz. They do the waltz, almost like it's just them two in the room. Then they go outside and they start doing the waltz. And they're just really having a good time. But then 12 o'clock hits. So Cinderella, she got to go. She got to hurry up and go because remember what the fairy godmother told her. Well, she's running down the stairs and everything. Running down the stairs and she leaves her slipper. So she leaves the slipper. She's in the carriage. She's running. The people, the guards and stuff is like, stop that lady. They're trying to, because they know that the prince really, is like he's in love with her. He's head over heels. So they're trying to stop her, but she still has to obey the rules. She has to obey the rules. So anyway, she finally gets back to the castle, the dungeon, more like it. And I forget how she found out that the prince was not the prince, but the prince, they were sending people to the house to see who could fit the slipper. Well, before all of that, Cinderella dropped, one of the slippers dropped, but then the other slipper she kept in her pocket. Okay, so boom, so they're going back to the house, okay. So the stepmother, she didn't want Cinderella to be the one to try on that slipper. So she locks her in like a closet or attic or something. And so she puts the key, stepmama puts the key in her pocket. The mice are in the pocket trying to get the key out. They're trying to get the key out. Finally, they get the key out. They, they bring it upstairs, with a struggle, big time. Oh, they struggled to bring that key upstairs. God, did they struggle? Jesus. They struggled so bad to bring that key upstairs. Finally they get up there. And who is waiting for them? With a cup. Lucifer. He takes the cup, boom, and he puts it over the mouse. The cute little mouse, so cute. So he doesn't want Cinderella to break free. He don't want Cinderella to get free. He wants her to stay in that dark place because that's how the devil is. He never wants God's children to be free. He wants them to stay in the dark place. Okay, so Cinderella's like, no, let him go, Lucifer, let him go. And so they start calling the other animals and stuff, the birds and everything, and they're all throwing things at Lucifer. He got a grip on that bowl that that the mouse is under with the key. He got a grip. Oh my God, do he have such a grip? So Cinderella remembers Bruno. And Cinderella's like, Bruno. Bruno is the dog. What does dog spell backwards? G-O-D. Because it takes God to handle Lucifer. Oh my God, Jesus. Well, anyway. So Bruno comes and he's barking at Lucifer. Finally, Lucifer, he pretty much has no other choice but to let the mouse go. And they finally open the door. Cinderella comes downstairs. She comes downstairs like, no, there's one more girl. There's me. And so the guy gently grabs her hand, not the prince, but the one that they had sent. I forget what you call that type of man. But anyway, not the prince, because the prince is still at his castle. So she's like, me, one more lady, me. So she comes running down the stairs. He gently grabs her hand. The stepmother. Okay, so while somebody is about to bring the slipper to Cinderella, the stepmother trips that person. She trips them. And the glass slipper breaks. Oh my God. Woo! That glass slipper broke. But little did the stepmother know, Cinderella was very smart. She put that other glass slipper in her pocket. The stepmother didn't know about that. So the guy is like, oh my God, the slipper now, what are we going to do, such and such? And Cinderella pulls it out. I have another one. And the stepmother, she almost has a heart attack. She almost gasps. And Cinderella said, I have another one. And she puts it on, and boom, she meets her prince. You know, she gets married and has the best life ever. She had to go through so much to get there. It didn't happen overnight for Cinderella. She had to go through so much to get there. Sometimes we have to go through so much in order to get what God really has for us. There's going to be a lot of obstacles. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be people that the devil worked through to try to stop you. Because they don't want to see you get blessed. That it's going to happen. It's going to happen. But you know something? Cinderella, she still got her blessing. Yes, she did. And you'll still get yours. You will still get yours too. It's like, don't give up. Don't give up. Okay? And you know something? The people in your life that want to hinder you and that try to sabotage you, don't think that God don't see them, because he do. Because he does see them. God does see them. You know, God's eyes is everywhere. God's eyes, the eyes of the Lord go to and fro. He got his eyes on the evil as well as the good. God sees everything. There's nothing that gets past God's eyes. Always remember that. So when you think people are doing you dirty and they getting away with it, no, they're not. It may look like they're getting away with it from your physical eye. But honey, you don't even know. With God's eyes, they ain't getting away with nothing. Not one thing. So I got a lot out of that new movie, Cinderella. If you haven't seen it, get Disney Plus for I think it's like $7 and change a month, $7.20. Get Disney Plus. They have some great, wonderful movies on it. And watch Cinderella from a different type of eye. See it from a different angle. And I'm telling you, it would just really be a blessing to you. All right. That's all I wanted to say. All right, y'all. Be blessed.